5 rare bills worth hunting for. Now let's make this a bit more fun. We'll draw some parallels between some movies or shows. Think about Indiana Jones, searching for hidden treasure, but instead we'll be on an adventure to uncover these 5 rare bills worth hunting for. Or think about a grown-up version of The Goonies, where our favorite adventurous kids are now hunting for these 5 rare bills. If you're an Office fan like me, imagine the Dunder Mifflin crew from The Office with Dwight leading the charge on a chaotic treasure hunt for these 5 rare bills. I'll leave you with one last one. I want you to imagine the excitement of National Treasure with Nicolas Cage, but instead of ancient relics, we're on a quest to find these 5 rare bills. Now without any further ado, let's hop right into this video because these first 2 $1 bills sold for a total of $6,600. So this is what we call a duplicated serial number error. These are very rare, but these are the things that you need to be looking out for on your $1 bill to see if you have this very rare error. To make a long story short, paper money in the US is produced at 2 facilities only, Washington, D.C. and the Fort Worth, Texas facility. Now these are both bureaus of engraving and printing, and I've had the honor of having a ground floor tour at the Washington, D.C. facility where they make paper money. Now you can tell where your paper money is produced by a very small detail. I'm not sure if you knew this, but look closely at the bottom right hand side of your $1 bill. You're going to see what's called a front plate position. Now the plate position is a combination of a letter and numbers that pretty much tells an internal employee at the BEP where this specific bill is located on a printing plate. All Fort Worth, Texas printed paper money will have a small FW before the front plate position. Now if there is no FW before it, that means your bill was produced at the Washington, D.C. facility. Here's the thing, 2013 is the year you need to be looking for on your $1 bill to see if you have these rare bills. The next thing you want to look for is to see if there is a large letter B on the left-hand side of your bill. That stands for the New York district for these banknotes. If you didn't know, depending on the letter to the left of Washington there, it's going to be either A through L. There are a total of 12 different districts. What you need to know is that that large B should always match the start of the serial number. You can see there's a B at the start of the serial number, which also correlates with the district seal on the left. For example, if that was a large letter A, then the serial number would start with an A. If the district seal was a D, then the serial number would start with a D, etc. If you ever see a note, this is a bit of a side tangent, where the district letter does not match the start of the serial number, you could have a very, very rare bill. But one of the last things you want to look for on your 2013 $1 bill is the star. So the star at the end of the serial number is very key. Now, why exactly are these bills so rare? It really comes down to the fact that there was a lack of communication between the Fort Worth facility and the Washington, D.C. facility, where they accidentally printed the same serial number range. So if you haven't noticed already, the serial numbers on the top note and the bottom note are identical. The only difference is the top note was produced at Washington, D.C. and the bottom note was produced at Fort Worth, Texas. Here's the kicker. These $1 bills are worth anywhere between $5 and $25 by themselves. But as soon as you're able to find both of them, which is very, very challenging to do, the price increases dramatically. This pair sold for $6,600. Now what I recommend to anyone watching this video is if you find one of these notes, what you do is immediately go on eBay and type in your serial number. People are selling these notes online, and if someone is selling the one that you have from the opposing district, you could buy it and make a fortune. So please keep your eyes peeled for these 2013 $1 bill star notes from the New York district because they are selling online for a lot of money. These sold for $6,600. When looking at the back of this $5 bill, you'd have no idea why it sold for $4,200 because the condition is really bad until you flipped it over to the front and you notice that the serial numbers have an additional green overprint. So the green seal and serial numbers that you see here are the last print to go on your paper money. The back of the bill is the first print, the front of the bill is the second print, and then the last print is this area that you see that has an additional green overprint. Even though this banknote's in really poor condition, it sold for $4,200. Now here's the real kicker. If you ever come across something like this, you don't want to accidentally spend it. Keep it very safe because this banknote went out into circulation and was passing a lot of people's hands before someone saw it and said, hey, this is actually a really rare $5 bill that could be worth a lot more money than just $5. Imagine there were a lot of people out there that spent this $5 bill, didn't think to even look at the serial numbers, later to find out it was selling online for $4,200. Looking at the front of this $10 bill from 1950, you'd have no idea why it sold for $56,500. $2,400. That's a lot of money for a $10 bill. Now you can also notice there's a good amount of staining going on. The whole note is toned. Depending on where the bill is stored can really dictate its value, because something like this will decrease the value, unfortunately. You can also notice that the centering is really wrong. The more centered your bill is, the more valuable it can become, as long as there's not any folds on your bill. As soon as there's a fold on your banknote that goes into the design, even if it's on the corner, the centering does not really matter anymore. The big kicker on this one is that when you flip it over to the back, you'll notice there is a $1 bill on the back of this bill. Some collectors will call this an $11 bill. Some will call it a double denomination or a dual denomination note. When it comes to air notes, this is the pinnacle. This is the top. This is one of the most sought after type of airs out there because it is so unique and so hard to come by. If you have any sort of dual or double denomination banknote, regardless of the denominations on the front or the back, please contact a rare paper money expert so they can assist you getting the full value of your banknote. Do not bring it to a pawn shop because they will rip you off. Now, if you haven't checked it out already, we have a completely free coin and currency ebook down below, no strings attached. Click on that link below to pick up your free ebook, and let's hop into the next bill. But remember, this $10 bill sold for $56,400, 36,000 bucks. So this 1974 $20 bill has another duplicate serial number. However, if you recall from earlier in the video, we talked about the Fort Worth, Texas and the Washington, D.C. printing facilities. These, because neither of them have an FW before that plate position on the front, they were both produced at Washington, D.C. Duplicated serial numbers like this are very, very rare. You never really see them, and something like this does not have a big print run. So if you come across two bills that have the same serial number, even if they're different denominations, that's going to be valuable as well, but the same exact serial number, same denomination, same year, same everything, this is overall a big oopsie by the printing facility because even the plate positions are identical. Everything about these two notes is the same. There is a very high probability that whoever caused this mistake no longer has a job, because if they're printing the same serial numbers, there could be a lot of fraud going on there. This did happen in the mid to late 70s, so things have changed, quality measures have changed over time, but if you ever come across something like this, keep them safe, because $36,000 they sold for. $2,760 for this $50 bill from 1981. So this one's a bit harder to see, but this is what we call a paper splice error. So when there are two pieces of paper that are spliced together, it's going to be a bit challenging to see, but if you hold it in your hands or you hold it up to some light, you'll be able to see the paper splice that's occurring. This one's happening on the right side of the bill. You can see near the serial number and the seal there. If you have a paper splice error, it can be worth a lot of money, just like this one that sold for $2,760. If you enjoyed this video, then smash that like button and we'll see you in the next one.